Yeah. Who getting paper? Who getting paper? Who getting paper? Uh, 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 yeah. Who getting paper? Let's go. Who getting paper? Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Who getting paper? Yeah, it's your man Ace back at it again with the follow-up video. This is video number 3, part 3, overcoming the mindset. We're talking about finance, y'all. From my point of view, I'm using my own personal story, my own personal experiences. As I was growing up, I'm 45 large, about to be 46 in a couple of days. Stop playing with me. Let's go. Talked about some of the things that I'm about to be doing. And in this particular video, we're talking about overcoming the mindset. As I did before, the setup, I'm going to go over the keywords in each point, keywords and phrases, and then I'll jump into it and review each section of overcoming the mindset. All right. So in last video, I talked about briefly about my military experience. And this is where I began to focus on taking the steps, right? Taking the steps to build a better life, you know. So real quick, taking steps towards a larger goal, a life that, although hard won, is ultimately under one's control. So I had to boss up, you know what I mean? That's what we do. That's what hustlers do. And I'm able to smile now, but definitely really wasn't smiling then. All right. So you too, if you currently in your struggles, man, listen, I'm not guaranteeing I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future. But I feel like you got to take a shot, man. You can't expect to make a basket if you don't put up the shot, man. At least if you put up the shot, you give yourself a chance to make the basket. And I feel like that's all we can do. That's what's within our control. So focus on that. Focus on what's within your control, right? So I talked briefly about my military experience, and when I began building that life and learning about what it meant to invest, where you basically begin to, I'm moving away from prioritizing immediate rewards and focusing primarily on long-term benefits. So this is where I began understanding what it means to invest, all right? So I can escape. And I'll talk briefly about my military experience. And in that's where I learned to do 2 things, because I had a short stint in the military. Only signed up for 3 years, which was the minimum to get the qualify for the GI Bill. 2 years, you couldn't get it. And so the only caveat was choosing 3 years is you got to go in undesignated and do the hard, like, janitor maintenance type work. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And I had a hard time in the military, trust me. Like, I had a bad attitude too, so, like, think about it. That's a whole nother story, but I'll get into that another time. But in the military, that's when I had to figure out my plan, because I only had a short term. And what I did was decided to do 2 things: invest in real estate. Well, begin figuring out how to invest in real estate, which will be my long-term strategy. And my short-term would be, what can I do to make money right now? Like when I get out, like right now, what skill could I develop? So I chose technology, computers, all right? So again, I'm going to read the keywords and phrases, and then I'll jump into it. So let's go. Financial literacy and planning. Did I have it? How was I going to get it if I didn't have it? So empowerment begins with, empowerment, knowledge, financial education, practical tools, budgeting, saving strategies, emergency fund building, immediate survival, long-term planning, manage money effectively, counteract the fear of the unknown. I love that. The fear of the unknown. I was afraid to be successful too, man. Fear crept in. It was like, oh, you can't do this. Like doubt, self-doubt, all of that, man. They're trying to overcome, like we talked about, the underpinnings, the set of ideas, motives, devices that justify or form the basis of our thought process, the psychology of finance, our thought process around finance, right? The psychology of it. So empowerment begins with knowledge. Financial education can provide practical tools. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Budgeting, saving strategies. So I started to learn how to do all of that. And the military did give me some tools on how to do that. And emergency fund building, because this is the one that really where I began learning how to do that 70-20-10. You know what I mean? And that helps shift the focus from immediate survival to long-term planning. So I started to begin how things can add up over time. And while I didn't like it, I didn't like the idea of how long it took. I didn't have anything else to do. I didn't have any other solution. So I was like, I'm gonna have to try something. I don't like this, and I'm gonna just look for something better as time progresses or as I, move forward. So anyway, it helps you shift the focus from immediate survival to long-term planning. When people understand how to manage money effectively, they gain a sense of control that can counteract the fear of the unknown. And I think that's enough said, right? I don't think I need to elaborate on that part. Maybe I'll just repeat it. When people understand how to manage money effectively, they gain a sense of control. And this is what I began to experience. Gaining that sense of control that I can counteract the fear of the unknown. And now things are becoming like I can envision what's going to happen, what my future could look like. Number 2, cognitive behavioral strategies. What are these? What is this? Come on, man. What's up with the big words? Anxiety, financial skills, identify and challenge negative thought patterns. I had a lot of those. Overwhelming fear, I had that. Future, I was thinking about that, contemplating it. Setting small, manageable goals, confidence, achievement. How do I get confidence? How do I gain confidence? How do I build confidence? Let's get into it. Addressing the underlying anxiety is just as important as improving financial skills, and I needed both of these skills. Cognitive behavioral techniques can help individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns. I suffer from anxiety, depression, mood disorder, as a result of my stint in the military, all of that good stuff. And so I had to go through these classes that taught me coping skills that helped a great deal. Like, I don't know where I'd be without these coping skills. So let's think about it in terms of the financial aspect, right? We need that because we got to get rid of some of these negative thought patterns that it's not possible. We can't do it. Yeah, I see it happening for them, but it's not going to happen for me. We got to get rid of that and start saying, look, I don't know if it will happen for me or not, but I know one thing is for certain. This I know. I can't make a shot if I don't take the shot. I don't give myself a chance to make the shot if I don't take it. That I know for sure. You may not win the lottery. Listen, I play the lottery. Because listen, man, I know what the odds say. But I know that there's a possibility that I can win. And I've calculated how much it costs for the next 30 years. And I'm like, yeah, I can risk that. So if I win, I win. And now I'm going to calculate what I win each year versus what I spent and calculate that for the 30-year period, right? If I live for the next 30 years. Like I said, I'm 45 right now. So anyway, y'all stay tuned for that. Because that's part of finances, right? That's part of finances and investing and where you spend your money, what you're doing to give yourself an opportunity to make more, produce more. And I like the lottery, man. So if I do hit it, it's all good. But you can't win if you don't play. So there it is. Let's go. Number 2, cognitive, blah, 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 blah. Addressing the underlying anxiety is just as important. Wait, this might involve setting small, manageable goals that gradually build confidence and a sense of achievement. Because we talked about the negative thought patterns, right? And replacing that overwhelming fear of the future with actionable positive steps. That's what the action is. We're taking steps. We're just going to focus on what's within our control, and that's taking steps to improve our situation. That's what I did, man. As hard as it was, and I still struggle with those thoughts. It's not like they just go away. They just continue. I'm 45, 46, and they still here. I still have to see them, be aware of them, and go through them. I have to be like, yo, all right, it's me and you. It's me versus you. And I'm just going to come through you. I've been doing it, so I learned that I can beat you. So it took time for me to get to that point mentally where I'm like, yo, that first one was like, yo, I got to see if I can win this battle, this mental battle. All right. So anyway, number 3, creating a supportive environment. Keywords and phrases: social support, sharing experiences, emotional, practical guidance, fatalism, empowerment. Yo, let's look up this word real quick. The belief that all events are predetermined and therefore inevitable. Now, I think it's okay or acceptable in certain cases, but in this psychology, in the psychology of living paycheck to paycheck, fatalism, where we're thinking, why even try? It's not possible for me. Yeah, we need to get rid of that. It doesn't have a place in the psychology of finance. All right, fatalism has no place. You got to get out of there. Let's read it. Social support from family, community groups, or financial counseling services. Like I said, I've been through them. I've been to them, and they help. Can be instrumental, and they work for me. Sharing experiences with others in similar situations can reduce feelings of isolation and provide both emotional and practical guidance. And it did. Sharing my experiences even now today helps. It's therapeutic for me. Let's continue. Knowing that others have navigated similar challenges can help shift the narrative from one of fatalism to one of empowerment. And that's what I want to do, is help empower the listeners. All right. Those who are listening to this video, who's watching this video. Number 4, incremental change. Keywords and phrases. Building a life, overcoming fear, time. Oh my gosh. That's just as important as money. Valuable too. Saving, seeking professional financial advice, reframing negative thoughts, lasting change, build resilience, replacing fear, confidence. Let's read it. Both building a life and overcoming fear require time, and I hate that. So that, for me, I had to overcome, why does it have to take so long? Why? Why can't this be done in a day, 24 hours, man? I'm tired of being broke. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Small, consistent actions. I'm like, this takes forever. Whether it's saving a little each month. I'm like, what I gotta save my way to wealth? Man, come on now. What are other people doing? Did they do this? I'm hating now. I hate. The hating starting to build up in me, right? Seeking professional financial advice or simply reframing negative thoughts can accumulate into significant lasting change. Over time, these incremental steps help build resilience, and it did. Gradually replacing fear with confidence, and now I have the confidence that I can overcome such thought patterns, right? So for y'all, stay tuned for my conclusion in the final video of this series. But it's not over. We got more financial topics to cover. All right. It's not over. We got more. But stay tuned for the final video for this series. My conclusions. All right. It's me, Ace, dropping the mic right here. I'm out.